This conference will now be recorded.
Hi Rohit, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So today we're gonna mostly look at creation of the image that we left over in Azure, okay,
Okay, sir.
and then followed by the subsequent lessons.
Okay.
Just okay. Okay, I think let's create a VM. So let me just get in touch with my VM. So this is a running VM. So first IP address. I don't remember what is the key I have used here. This will tell me. Okay, Azure user.pem. This is the pem. Hmm. I don't really remember what PEM is that. Okay, I got the PEM. It's a VM demo key. So all I need to do is to make sure I use it. So let me check. Overall view 21. Okay, good. So you see the recommendations. You have the recommendations here. So do I have any NSGs here? I do have NSGs. Okay. Okay. No. Wasting so much of time. That should go. VM demo. VM demo is there. Yeah, the demo key file is here. So it shouldn't be a problem. Okay. I don't know, I'm unable to connect. Maybe there is some issue. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, let me go to my virtual machines. Now let me restart this one. So this is to check your resource health. Mm, 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 Inbound. Okay, even though our energy is good, but I'm unable to get inside this one. I don't know. maybe when I restarted it, 52, 146, 43, and 21. Okay. Okay, it looks fine from here, but I'm unable to connect it. So weird. Nonetheless, I'm going to delete it and create another version. I can't waste more time there. So the main goal of today's session is to create a managed image. What is a managed image? An image which is you are going to add on the top of the current vanilla images of virtual machines currently available. So let me, in the meantime, let me check what else I have covered. Source groups. These are virtual machines. I think the load balancer, I can create one, no problem. Okay, in the meantime, let's look into load balancer. Let it create. So click on the load balancer. So when you click on a load balancer, of course, you have to choose the resource group. We're going to choose demo. And now, what is the name of this load balancer? ELB backend. Okay. Okay. This type is basically public type and basic SKU. You want, of course, load balancer should be attached with a public IP address, and you have to name it public IP address something. ELB backend. Public IP. Assignment is basically, I want it to be having a static assignment. I don't want it to have any kind of other stuff. And then environment, I am actually creating a demo environment. Now, create. This is how you create an elastic load balancer. What is a load balancer? Can anybody tell me? Can we use NGINX that we actually use? I mean, in the DEVOPS class, can we use NGINX as a reverse proxy? Anybody there? Rohit, any ideas?
No, sir.
Okay, Richa.
No, no idea.
Okay, so a load balance. Do you know what is the main purpose of a load balancer? Okay, no problem. I'm gonna show you. So basically, imagine a lot of people are using google.com, right? I think per second there would be at least a million hits to google.com per second, okay, from one region. Now tell me, how are you going to pass this traffic without any disruptions? Would the systems will be able to handle 1000 requests? That means each request requires some amount of resources, right? So you're running an application. So when you get a request, your application demands some CPU utilization time, some memory, and also some other inbound data-oriented hardware, data-oriented resources, maybe a connection to database. Okay, so all this process requires some amount of RAM utilization. Imagine per second you have utilization of 1 million users concurrent. That means what is the amount of RAM you need? If the minimum RAM you required is 10 megabytes per request, which is very less, which is normal. Okay, now 10 megabytes into a million per second. How many megabytes? 10 million. Okay, 10 million megabytes. Almost 10,000 gigabytes. So will that be practical? Because I'm not actually talking about per second. I'm talking about utilization of server without any issues. So what is the amount of RAM it requires per hour? Let me just give a small rough calculation. So you require 10,000 GB. In turn, okay, let me just say the minimum utilization of your application, that is Google application, will span around at least 5 minutes. Okay, so 10,000 GB into 60 seconds. Okay, that is into, and then how many minutes? 5. So by minimum requirement, we just say we need 3 petabytes of data, petabytes of RAM. Sorry, imagine even if you have 3 petabytes of RAM, the amount of computing speed it demands. So basically, how the request move is something like this. So we have something called load balancers. These load balancer basically the main job is to take a request, okay, and forward it to one instance. So this is, let me just say, these are your Google application servers. So this is number 1, and this is, let's say, number 10,000. Okay, so all these will be interconnected and to these load balancers. So basically there are 2 types of load balancer: software load balancer or hardware load balancer. Currently completely we are talking about software. So now what happens is, your load balancer main functionality is to carry forward the request to the right candidate. What is the right candidate? The candidate which has, so there are different algorithms: weight based routing policy, round robin routing policy, least utilization routing policy. So the main purpose of load balancer is to send this all 1 million requests, okay, with such a proposition that the servers will be able to handle the load. So each server, okay, it will calculate how many requests it has been sent to the first one, and then if you go with the basic strategy, which is round robin, the first request will go to the first server, second will go to the second server, and let's say 10,000 requests will go to the 10,000 server, and again 10,001 requests will go to the first server. So you keep on, because it then how many requests per server we are having? We are having 2 requests per server. I mean, if you just think in the logical proposition, so if I have 10,000 servers, okay, then I would be needing 300 gigabyte per server, okay, because that is the amount of RAM it demands. Now if I just say add one more, let's say I have 1 lakh servers, then I just need 30 GB of RAM. Okay, so this is how, and in fact you have the for 30 GB of RAM, you can easily have the required CPU utilization allocation as well. So by normal general calculation, you can understand that your elastic load balancer or software load balancer, or you see our Microsoft load balancer, is basically a software component which of course has hardware requirements which are cooked under the hood. So what you need to know is that your load balancer is responsible to distribute the load across your several small application server. This is in short why what is a load balancer, and this is how you actually need to comprehend. The second point is that I just asked about Nginx, right? See, Nginx is very popular, and Nginx can act as a load balancer. Okay, it not only used to run application server. If you change the configuration, the Nginx will actually support you to work as a load balancer. It will connect with all the nodes with the given round robin mechanisms. Okay. What else we have? Yeah, that's all from load balancer. Now, if you just see the deployment details, your backend and your server, and also the attached IP, public IP is also attached to this. So if you go to simple load balancers, he would be here. You will be able to find one load balancer somewhere. Forgot the name. Name must be network demo. It must be here somewhere. Yes, here load balancer is here. Now you have load balancer. Now you might be thinking, hey, why would I need a load balancer? Okay, so let me just tell you. Normally the setup is you have a load balancer, and now you create a VM. So the VM is not deleted, is it? That is the only problem, because it is slow. You have to be really patient and sometimes give it some time. But Azure is really, sorry, Amazon is really fast. When you compare with Azure, the efficiency of your UI console is very high. I mean, efficiency high in Azure, but speed is low. There, the speed is high, but the efficiency is moderate. So I think the main concept of ELB is done. So we discussed what is ELB. We created an ELB now. Now we're going to create a VM, and we're going to create a virtual machine image. And after that, we'll try to install something in this VM and then connect it to our load balancer. Anything else? So you already know about storage accounts, right? Taking time, so let me open this memory tab. You see, these are storage accounts. What is basically a storage account? Can anybody answer me? Richa, Rohit, any idea what is your storage account?
In Azure,
Yes. Rohit,
I
yes,
think,
Rohit.
yeah, I think it's storage allocation for us to use Azure.
Yeah, kind of right actually. Because but normally people ask in interview what is a storage account? What are you gonna answer? You can't say kind of allocation, right?
Yeah.
What is storage account then? We have definitely discussed. This is the answer. Okay. So what is storage account of Azure? Means the storage
Front end.
account, it just contains or allows you to have the data objects such as blobs, files, queues, tables, and disks. That's it. Remember this. So this is just like FTP server. I hope you remember, right? Why do you use FTP server? To store a lot of documents like PDFs, sometimes downloadable APKs or downloadable files, jars. You talk something. Any form of data can be stored in FTP server, right? Do you know what is FTP? Okay, I'm running back again with the explanation.
File transfer protocol.
Yes. So basically, FTPs are nothing but it's a transfer protocol. Okay. So I believe in a lot of academics use FTP servers now because so from my understanding, I have used one when I was in Germany. So I believe most of the education institutions still use that. So FTP server is nothing but a file server. It contains all the files. It actually supports bunch of formats, file formats, to be stored and to be able to downloadable. Same, your storage account does the same. The storage account allows you to store any kind of data as objects, mostly in the form of blobs, files, views, and tables and disks. Okay, so let me see what is our status here still. I'm really sorry, it's going crazy. Uh, Forget about that. I'm gonna create one more again. Whatever happens, happen. I can't delay anymore. So now I'm actually deploying a VM. Okay. So I'm actually using network demo. My virtual machine name is demo2. Okay, it can stay in your CS. No infrastructure redundancy required. 1804. Size is, this is good. 1 VPC. Application type is SSH is good. Username is Azure user. Good. I don't want to use any key. And I think there is VM demo key. Yeah. I'm using the same demo key, same username, and everything almost same. Okay. I'm actually allowing this SSH 22 as well. I'm using it standard. No, I don't want encryption. And let me see. This one is in this one. Okay, subnet. This is a public subnet. Okay, so I'm actually putting this in my. Oh, okay. Maybe some virtual network is. Since we have changed some, I want to create a new virtual network. I don't want to do that right now. I can use the same. Okay, subnet 1. Public address this one. That's it. Hello, associated. Here you can see, while creating it, I can place this behind a load balancer. Okay, I actually have already created a load balancer, right? Okay, so I'm creating beside a load balancer, and I'm selecting the first load balancer. The source group is network demo. Isn't it the same network, right? The value must not be empty. It's saying that I have to use a standard load balancer. Didn't I create it? Okay, so now let me just load it off. Okay, go with the default one. Don't worry about it. I don't mind it. No. Okay, so I have to go to generation 1 only. Okay, that's clear. So let's go in the meantime, let me check the subnet. Maybe there is some kind of a problem in the subnet last time. There's only one. Okay, here you see I have attached a routing table, route RT1. Okay, I think there is the issue because in the routing table, I'm not sure I have actually added allowed the permission. So that was the issue. Let me just delete this routing table. Okay. Each and every resource costs you. Remember that. It's still going on. So meantime, let's go to the storage account. So basically, we have around basically we have 5 types of storage types. Different types of storages. This is a general purpose V2 account, that is versions 2 accounts, basically used for blobs, files, queues, and tables. Okay, so this is the most suitable and recommended storage type of account you can use in Azure. But we have first generation account, which are general purpose V1 accounts. These are actually legacy type. So these are like a previous version. They also support all the formats, blobs, files, and queues and tables. But currently, general purpose version 2 is more efficient and also less cost. So people is recommended that we go with version 2. So we have something called block Bob storage accounts. So if you want your storage space, which has a blob as a storage object, if you want high transaction rates and faster access, then this type of a premium account type is better. So they call it as a blob storage account. And we have something called file storage mounts. These file storage mounts are actually comes with a very fast performance features, and they are actually recommended if you want to utilize them in any enterprise level or very highly scalable applications when you need access to the same content across multiple backend servers. Now we have something called blob storage accounts as well. These are legacy blob storage accounts. They are, so most preferable type of storage account would be general purpose video account. Other than that, if you want some premium features for your enterprise account, you can go with the file storage accounts or blob storage account. So you can see the lot of difference between them. So name of type of the account, what kind of data, what kind of services they can support. And here, if you just see the general purpose version 2 type account, we basically use to support blob, file, queue, table, disk, and also data lake. Remember, data lake is very popular in Azure. So you might come across data lake maybe in future if you're working with Azure. Okay, so people really tend to highly depend on data lake. So general purpose for V2 is very advantageous to use. It actually helps you to three different tires. So hot, cool, and archive tires. Okay, the performance is a standard and premium. Both are available in general purpose V2, and the deployment model is a resource manager model. That is how we basically deploy here. Okay. Okay, so there are a lot of replication options. Okay, so we can go through it them slow and steady. Okay, for now, these are the 5 different types and the main difference across them. Okay, so just wait a second. Still, this is not done. Okay, now we have the virtual machine up and running. Let me just check this. You see, we have we have a OS disk. Okay, okay, I think the network has some issue maybe. So this is clear. No special also. Why I am unable to log in? Okay. Okay, for now, I don't know, due to I was doing something related to networking, maybe that has issued somewhere. So I don't want to troubleshoot right now because we have a few more minutes. I want to complete this lesson. So first and foremost, if you want to make an image, you log in and you do required changes like installing a server or whatever. Then you have to click this button. Once you come out of it, click on capture your particular name. So I'm going to it's gonna come with the default name setting. If you try to follow it's the best because it also gives you the timestamp, okay, the month, the time, everything. It's perfect. So you can directly add it and just type your virtual machine demo2 VM. Yes, demo2. Now create. First it's going to validate. I think it's going to take a bit more time. So meanwhile, we can go through this because I think the storage accounts are the one thing that we also need to look. So it is still under the way. Come on. What? This is so bad. It's not going to happen until this is completed. So this is your activity log. The allocation is good. Here. The deployment is still in progress. Okay, these are dependent, right? Until this is complete, I can't actually complete after one. Maybe I hope you can hold on for another 10 minutes. Hope this is done. Okay. So today's tasks would be, let me just add them here. Create image, install Apache. exit, make manage image. Okay, so from here to here, okay, here, here. So that's it. So just do this activity log if possible today, and I'm gonna delete all my resources and make it workable tomorrow. I don't know why it's taking so much of time. Now I control over it. So mostly, if you just discuss a bit about storage accounts. So we can work on maybe creation of SQL, but again, that requires different knowledge. And then what else we can discuss? Maybe we can discuss about cost management plus billing error a bit, and of course monitor. That's it. So I think if we discuss monitor, cost management, maybe a bit about Azure Active Directory, most of our Azure will be closed. So we have Azure Active Directory, monitor, and security. Security, I think we already discussed regarding the basic security, but I can also give you the overall comprehensive understanding on security and cost management. So these four are the main targets for this week. So by end of this week, we'll be able to complete Azure. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can get back to me. Unless we get stuck with these kind of problems. I think this is stuck. I have to cancel it. Okay, I'll redo it. Maybe tomorrow you'll have one directly available. It doesn't make sense to have it anyway. Okay, so that's all for today. Let's meet tomorrow, and I will make a complete VM, and I will show this making image creation to the completion. If it is possible, you can just work with if you have any VM available with you. So try to do it. Currently, I don't know what exactly is happening my deployment. Okay, that's all from my side. I hope thanks for joining. If you have any questions, you can ask me now. We can actually get back tomorrow. Any questions, Rohit and Richa?
Abdul, so do we need to install Apache on virtual machine?
Yes, the VM that you create, right?
Okay.
Because that will give you that you are adding something to a virtual machine, right? So normally what we do is that we create a machine, and inside this virtual machine, we're gonna install some kind of software. Okay. So once we install all the software on it, then the virtual machine is deployment ready. That means if you just deploy the all the services are already there, so they're gonna start working. Okay, so this is normally we're gonna work on that level of deployments, because in real in the current real-time scenario, people are going with this strategy. Which initially we used to create a virtual machine. We're gonna use some kind of tools like Ansible, go inside, and then do all the installation and maintain. Nowadays, we are not going to do that. We are actually completely a VM, and we're gonna just deploy. That's it.
Okay.
So that is the main focus of the exercise. I hope you do it. And I thank you for joining, both of you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.